Hello guys, welcome back. So in this video, we're going to talk about why memorizing vocabulary alone is a dead end if you want to improve your spoken English abilities. It's really funny because some people just commented on my comment section in my last video saying that I have memorized vocabulary for quite a long time. However, when it comes to having a conversation in English, I often feel stuck. And why is that? I mean, it's pretty simple. You see, basically, a lot of people, if you have studied in high school and if you have studied in college, you definitely have learned English before, right? And if you learn English before, you definitely try to learn English by memorizing vocabulary. So basically, that means most people have memorized vocabulary since they were learning English. However, not every one of them can speak English quite fluently. If memorizing vocabulary is so effective, as is said by so many people, then why not every one of us are able to speak fluent English? What's the reason? It's because some people are not smart. It's because some people are more intellectual than other people, so that's why they can speak fluent English? No. Speaking English has nothing to do with their intelligence. And I think the reason is simply because the approach they learn, the approach they use to learn English is off. Memorizing vocabulary doesn't help you improve your English fluency. All right. So I never recommend my students memorizing vocabulary to improve their spoken English abilities because it doesn't help. It does help you if you want to lay a great foundation in English, but it doesn't help you so much if you want to improve your overall spoken English ability. That's the difference. And if you have watched my previous videos, you will know my idea, right? If you want to improve your spoken English, you have to collect different sentence structures and lexical chunks. Lexical chunks are the smallest unit in spoken English. And lexical chunks vary, but they should at least be 2 words, right? You cannot just rely on 1 word and then dream of unlocking fluency in English. Let me just give you a really straightforward example. So here is an idiom which is blow off some steam. It means it helps you relax, right? However, I'm sure that every one of you know every single word out of this idiom, blow off some steam. You definitely have memorized these 2 words before. However, if I put them all together, and if I try to use this expression in my conversation, probably you have no idea how to understand it. And definitely you will have a hard time expressing yourself using this expression. Why is that? Because it cannot be understood individually, right? This should be understood as a whole because it is an idiom, and if they're put together, they mean it helps you relax. For example, I'm tired today because I've worked for over 10 hours already. So that's why I want to go back home to watch some TV. And after I've watched my TV, I want to hang out with my friends to blow off some steam, right? So that's how I use this idiom in my daily conversation. And I have never memorized this idiom. I just try to use this over and over again until it becomes my second nature. I don't even need to think about it before I use it. It just becomes so natural. So that's the difference because for many people, when they ask me questions like, I have the foundation in English. I know so many vocabularies. I just want to improve my overall spoken English skills. Then I think they should stop memorizing vocabulary at this moment and start practicing or speaking English. Try to speak English on their own. And when they try to speak English, they will definitely know where their weaknesses are. For example, if we're talking about sports, if they have no idea how to talk about sports, then they need to collect lexical chunks and sentence structures related to sports and practice them over and over again. So the next time when we're talking about sports, they will know something to talk about. Probably not in depth, but they will start talking in English. So that's progress, right? So that's how we make progress step by step. We do not expect overnight success because it doesn't exist. We expect that we can gradually start speaking English and we are able to express our feelings under certain circumstances, right? Just like we talk about sports. And when we have a holistic understanding of this topic, we can move on to the next one. For example, hobbies. And then when hobbies are done, move to another one. One by one, gradually, you're able to talk about anything in your life. So it's not unrealistic like many people think previously. It's actually so much easier than we thought. And just don't over exaggerate the difficulty when it comes to learning spoken English because it's actually so simple. And I guess if you have memorized vocabulary for quite a long time, you have already had the foundation for English. Start practicing your spoken English is going to be the easiest thing you've ever done in your life. Trust me. All you need to do is start talking, and if you can find somebody who can correct your grammatical mistakes or pronunciation mistakes, it's going to be way much faster than it's originally, because sometimes when we make some problems or when we make some mistakes, we're not aware of it, right? So it's quite essential to have somebody around me who can point out for us, and then we'll try to avoid making the same mistakes gradually. We will know how to express ourselves in authentic English, the English that can be understood by native speakers, right? So that's why I think stop memorizing vocabularies, guys. It's not going to help you improve your spoken English. If you want to improve your spoken English, do as followed. Collect different sentence structures and lexical chunks. Start practicing different sentence structures and lexical chunks as much as you can until they become so natural to you. You don't need to think. And when you are done with one topic, move on to the next one. I am not sure how much does it take for you to learn English from scratch and gradually to be able to achieve a level where you dreamed since you were a child. But I'm sure that if you do that, you will make steady progress. And gradually, one day, you will achieve what you want. That's a given. Okay? So that's basically it. That's basically everything about this topic. Hope this topic can help you guys to some degree, and hope you guys can eventually unlock fluency in English. I'm waiting for you guys, and let's all do our best and become the best version of ourselves. And I'm gonna see you guys in my next videos. Peace out.